Senator Dino Melaye, the People Democratic Party (PDP) presidential campaign spokesperson, made a comment over Tinubu and his never-ending pattern of unfitness. According to Senator Dino Melaye, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate demonstrated another pattern of unfitness in Jos after weeks of procrastination and rehearsal for the office he seeks to occupy by welcoming prayer for the People Democratic Party (PDP), which was a theoretical display of misplaced ambition with unsteady diet and irrational and unplanned behavior. Senator Dino Melaye further highlighted that the manifestation in Jos is a further consolidation of a pattern in the physical and psychological composition of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who a few weeks ago shocked his host Governor Nasir El-Rufai when he said Nigerian could go from rotten to bad. Analysts who put both events in context have leaned on the biblical phrase that says that out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. Senator Dino Melaye further stated, and I quote, "The period of campaign is not just for activities that political parties can design to fill the void before election, but a part of the building block for leadership selections, and it is a period of assessment for choices and decision by the electorate. It is therefore important that Nigerians take full advantage to mark the script of various candidates and their parties. While a man like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who could not have the presence of mind or who requires support to move around, has obviously marked himself down." Senator Dino Melaye progressed further by pointing out that Nigerians could recall the various inadequacies demonstrated by Buhari before he was selected in 2015, that his qualification was a subject of litigation, and his speeches were filled with gaffes, including his inability to get right the names of his running mates. Every support was governed by emotion, which some of us felt for the wave of the period, but with the benefit of hindsight, we now know better. Senator Dino Melaye further stated that the election of a president for a great and demanding nation like Nigeria is beyond the application of P2B principle, where people are promoted to the level of their incompetence. Moving further, he stated that in disaster management there are some principles, and the first is early warning signs. Is the disaster that the unlikely presidency the Tinubu ambition represents is laden with early warning signs, buttressed by his conduct and courage. And the second principle in disaster management is disaster risk reduction. Senator Dino Melaye further pointed out that Nigeria has a great chance now to avoid a repeat of the Buhari presidency, who was largely an absentee president in and outside the country. Meanwhile, the controversy surrounding the Tinubu personality are legion. His age is shrouded in mystery, his origin is in question, his academic credentials are in debate, the records of his career are in dispute, the source of his wealth are in contention, the burden of crime hangs around his neck. Senator Dino Melaye further asked, if in the face of all this Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been getting away and some Nigerians want to examine all within human fragility, what about the personal failures he now markets around the country? Senator Dino Melaye further stated that Tinubu has led the rest of Nigerians to believe that he is not based only on the conscience of Yorubas, but he is a numero uno of the southwest of Nigeria. Events in the last few weeks during which Tinubu had to wrestle to obtain the endorsement of Afenifere have shown that Tinubu has no political base or has an exaggerated claim to political leadership. Meanwhile, as we critically evaluate Tinubu's sustainability, let us remember the experience of Americans under Donald Trump. Senator Dino Melaye further highlighted that Trump was a man who had lived in controversy in his entire life, but who winked Americans until they promoted him to his incompetence and absolute disaster through brinkmanship, deception, and the deployment of a massive financial asset. But to turn things around, America will need decades, if not centuries, to clean up the mess. Nigeria can become smarter by learning from the mistakes of the democracy master, who were nearly consumed by political indiscretions, says Senator Dino Melaye. He further stated that Tinubu has shown in words and action an attitude that he constitutes a great danger to himself and a potential disaster to Nigeria. His unfitness manifests daily, so let us heed the early warning signs and let us adopt a disaster reduction strategy. Atiku Abubakar remains the best option to lead Nigerians out of disaster and calamity that APC has sentenced Nigeria in the last 7.5 years. God bless Nigeria, says Senator Dino Melaye.